Hello my friends and welcome. Buck Small Engine DIY on YouTube. And I'm sitting here today in the shop with an Ariens lawn tractor. It's from 2012, so it's about 14 years old and it will not start or run. This was delivered to me in the back of a minivan, and when I saw the van arriving I thought perhaps I misunderstood the gentleman because maybe he's just bringing me a push mower. But no, in the back of his Toyota Sienna minivan, he had this guy. This tractor won't start or run. I first thought that he told me it would start, but then it wouldn't restart if you shut it off. But now he tells me it doesn't start at all. I've not looked at it at all. I know nothing about it. He told me he replaced the battery. He replaced the starter solenoid. He replaced the starter motor. I think that's what he told me. So I think we might be tracking down an electrical issue, which I think is fun. We'll see. You think it's fun? You want to join me? Then stay tuned. I guess the first thing to do is to set the seat, just see what it does or does not do. Choke all the way up, brake, brake on. Seat's making a lot of noise. Alright, turn the key. I don't hear anything. I don't hear the solenoid click at the base of the carburetor. Oh wait, so there's some kind of a, that sounds like the starter motor's doing something, but not engaging. Well, you hear the starter motor, but maybe there's something wrong with the Bendix. It's not engaging the flywheel because the starter motor's spinning, but the engine is not. Well, guess that's where we'll start. Well, engine cover removed here, and look at this. This is so interesting. The gear has broken. You see two pieces, one there, one there. It just broke off. You know what this says to me? This says to me, Aftermarket, made in China. Ever seen that before? Never had this problem before. So he got himself a new starter, but the gear mechanism just broke right into two pieces. It's making me wonder, you know, did we get the right starter? Is that the right number of teeth to correspond to the flywheel that we have? That's something that you need to get right. So I think, you know, trying to replace the Bendix, I'm not messing with any of that. I don't do that. I'm going to just get the right starter. I'm going to use this information right here, model, type, and code. I'm going to look up the starter for this particular engine and buy it that way. Could be the right thing and we just had bad luck, or it just could be cheap aftermarket. And that's my guess, so this should be an easy fix. All right, let's go ahead and remove this starter. Now, you might want to disconnect the battery. I'm not going to do that. I turned the key to off, removed the key. So this is not energized unless the key gets turned to start. So I don't think we need to disconnect the battery. We do need to disconnect this cable here. It's 7/16, but it's hard to get a wrench in there on the inner one. So sometimes I grab it with needle nose pliers just to immobilize it. All right, and that comes off. So that's that. Now we got these two bolts back here, and it's hard to get a socket on them because the starter itself is in the way. But you can get a T40 Torx bit on there, and I could use this guy to break it loose. I also have one of these. I can get it in there like that, and then a 10mm socket There you go. So that's pretty convenient. Take that guy out like that. Do the same for this guy. But wow, yeah, that's so unusual. I have never seen that. I've never seen this before. When you order a new starter, you got to count the number of teeth here on this, because it's got to be right so that it properly meshes with the gear on the gear ring on the flywheel. I think it's correct. I just think we got bad luck with that particular part. All right, and this comes down, and that's it. So he's done. I'm sorry you're brand new, but that's just bad luck, I guess. You know, what are you gonna do? So this does seem like it. You know, I'm not even sure. Maybe it's not the right one. Because that doesn't seem very smooth to me. It works right, but I don't know. That's why we're going to use the type, model, and code to look up the correct part and make sure we get the right thing. So for that, we have the computer and the internet, and that's where I'm going next. All right, welcome back. I ordered a new starter, and I bought genuine Briggs & Stratton. There's a part number 593934. Now, I am not one of these guys that say you must always and only use OEM. Honestly, sometimes there's absolutely no difference between aftermarket and OEM. The OEMs are made in the same Chinese factory that the aftermarket stuff is. However, in the case of a component like this starter, I think if the owner of this tractor had gone genuine Briggs & Stratton to begin with, the tractor would not be back in the shop dealing with this. So there's certain times when I think OEM's the way to go. And the starter's a fairly significant component that needs to be right. And you know, I know it's just bad luck, but that's what you get, and it's costly. You know, these aftermarket starters are all over Amazon for $35, $40, $45. This one was $99 plus tax. So, you know, it's a lot different. But again, if we had gotten this originally, the guy'd be saving money because it wouldn't be back in the shop with me. Question number 2, why don't I just replace the pinion gear? Because it's a pain in the neck. And I could fuss and work and try to do it, but the time that it would take me to get it and get it right, I might as well just save the time and buy a whole new starter. So that's what we're at. That's where we're at, what we're doing, and let's see about getting this guy back up there. I'm okay. Oh. Now this bolt has a bracket for holding down the wires. That one's easier to access. Let's maybe start with that guy. Okay. That's pretty good right there. All right. Not really a hard job. By the way, I went and gave the old flywheel a spin. I just wanted to make sure there were no broken teeth or anything on the flywheel itself. could have sabotaged our ring gear, our pinion gear. I don't think so. I think we're just dealing with low quality stuff there. So, all right, so I think that's good. Connect our cable. Got to get a 7/16 for that. If you have a thin 7/16 to grab this guy with and hold it, that would be great. But I don't, so these long needle moves will have to do. Yeah, that's that. So I got the engine shroud to put back on, and after that we'll button it all back up and test this guy, see if he's going to work. Yeah, I probably should test it before I button it all up, don't you think? Yeah, let's do that. Alright, I really don't know if there's other issues with this tractor that haven't been made clear to us, but obviously I can't get to those until we fix the starter. So let's see what happens here. Alright, that was it. So easy one, easy. Now I can safely button it up and get it ready to return to the owner. Alright, that's an easy one today. Easy, easy, easy. Sometimes the diagnosis just slaps you right in the face and you can't miss it. So, not very exciting repair, but interesting. Never experienced that before. And it's resolved, I think, the right way, the proper way. And we can send it on down the road because it's grass mowing season. I want to thank you for watching. Your comments and questions in the discussion below are always appreciated. So please feel free to communicate with me that way. Thumbs up would be nice. A subscribe, really nice. Whatever you can do, I thank you. Remember guys, as I like to say, only you can put the do into do it yourself. And I'll see you on our next video. Bye.